Parenting like a pro. It's something that we all want to do if we have kids. Well, the Smileys are here to help us do just that with their parenting advice. Let's take a look at this question. I'm the dad of 3 sons who are involved in many school activities. Their mom, my ex-wife, doesn't tell me about ball games or other events until the last minute. That makes it harder for me to attend. I don't want the kids to think I don't care. Any suggestions?
Well, obviously asking his ex-wife to get him the information a little sooner isn't working. Okay, so we have to go to another plan. One of the things he could do is simply ask the boys to pick up a couple of schedules.
Right.
And when they get the schedules for their sporting events, if that for any reason makes his kids uncomfortable, then go to the source. You know, if it's a coach, say, Coach, you know, can I have a copy of the schedules? A lot of times, a lot of schools will actually have that information online. Dad needs to be a little more proactive than depending on his ex-wife for that information.
Right.
Right, and we don't know exactly why the ex-wife is not getting him the information,
Right.
and that comes into play here. But another reason that he didn't suggest here, but might be a possibility, is that he might be a little bit obnoxious at these games, and maybe the kids are talking to the ex-wife, and they don't want him there. And so the first answer to this question is pretty easy. You know, it's easily solved. Get the schedules from someplace else.
Right.
This next part, the dad, he has to be pretty much introspective with this.
Right.
And he has to take a look. If he's making these kids feel uncomfortable because he's at their sporting events, then he's going to have to make a change internally and think about this. And probably the ex-wife is not going to tell him that. And probably the kids aren't going to tell him, you know, Dad, you know, simmer down. And so it's something that he's going to have to take a look at and ask that question, you know, why? Now, maybe the ex-wife is just trying to be, you know, she's trying to be
Difficult.
Right. But it may not be that at all. So there are two sides to this that I think this dad needs to take a look at.
Right. Showing up is great. Showing up and being obnoxious is not great. If he's the one that's hollering at the coach or hollering at the other players or even hollering at his own kids. John and I are both former high school basketball coaches. He was wonderful. I was adequate. And one of the things I learned early on is don't hang around after the game to have people tell you wonderful things, because a lot of times they aren't going to. So John would set a pick for me, and I'd go straight down to the locker room.
Love it. Love it. Perfect advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, if the Smileys answer one of your questions, you could receive a free copy of one of their books. Don't forget to visit their website, parentinglikeapro.com.